Shalom, I'm Kayla Sprague with All Israel News, and welcome to this complex feature here at the Gush Katif Museum in Jerusalem. 20 years ago, Israel carried out one of its most painful national decisions, the disengagement from Gush Katif in Gaza. 9,000 Jewish residents were uprooted from their homes, farms, schools, and synagogues. Entire communities were dismantled in the hope of a more peaceful future. Gush Katif was a flourishing region, world-renowned for its agriculture. Families lived here with faith, resilience, and a deep love for the land. But in the summer of 2005, all of it was lost. Okay, tell me what we're looking at here.
This is a beautiful picture taken in 1998 of a place called Neve de Kalim.
Okay.
Neve de Kalim was the biggest settlement of all, had 3,000 inhabitants. Altogether, there were about 8,500 to 10,000 inhabitants living in Gush Katif at the time. A gas station, schools, beautiful houses, some of them were swimming pools, a sports hall. This was a yeshiva, a theological institution. They were building more houses. This is Khan Yunis, you can see here in the distance, and this is what they had.
Okay.
They turned it from nothing into a beautiful place.
Wow.
And this was all bashed down by the Israeli army,
Okay.
all the houses.
So tell me about the agricultural represented here.
Okay, so we've got a few pictures which demonstrates what we had. This guy today is the Minister of Defense of Israel. He's much thinner, okay? And he was then the Minister of Agriculture, checking out different kinds of things. Tomatoes, cherry tomatoes was our big thing as well then. 10% of the state of Israel's agricultural produce was grown in Gush Katif. 10%, that's a lot. And there's all the kibbutzim and everything like that we had there. 65% of the organic greenhouse vegetables for export originated in Gush Katif. They used to export 65 of what they exported overseas came from Gush Katif.
Wow.
$25 million was the agricultural exports of Gush Katif farmers. In other words, it wasn't just...
It wasn't small.
Gush Katif, I put my stick down, this is where I'm living. It was a whole operation.
The decision to withdraw from Gaza was rooted in the longing for peace between Israelis and Palestinians. Many believed this painful sacrifice would pave the way for reconciliation and greater security. Okay, so in this room, there are some sobering images as well as footage. Can you describe what's happening in this room?
Okay, this room basically, it's called the dark room because the idea here is to cut people off from the museum and for them to experience. People sit here for hours. They just sit and their thoughts go on and on. And if you look at the pictures there, you'll see different pictures depicting the expulsion. And this is a movie here. It's a 5-minute revolving movie. It keeps on going all the time. Just see the difficulty involved with the soldiers, what they had to do to take people out. And there was thank God, there was no civil war. No one was killed. It was a miracle. And we have the respect of, what's his name? The army decides, the government decides, we went along with it. We're allowed to, go against it. You're allowed to argue against it, right? But thank God there were no deaths.
Okay, so you mentioned this is your favorite photo. Tell me about it.
This is, you see the soldiers with all their might coming along. And they come to kick the family out the house, right? And who do they meet at the door? Little guy, he's probably about 2 years old. And they look at him. See this guy here looking at him, the front guy? And he's like saying to them, you got the wrong address. You meant that house over there. And that's I fell in love with this picture.
And this is from 2005.
Yeah. Came to his house. They come out to kick everyone out. And it's like King David with Goliath, in a way. That Goliath, you see, Goliath is the strength and thing. They come, the army, And this little guy meets him. He says, hey, man, you got the wrong address. Go next door.
And in this room, there's a library of many
This is a library of
articles,
a lot of articles.
Evacuation.
You can see every picture is 1,000 words. I mean, look at these guys here. The lady, they came there in all innocence to settle the place and to make it their livelihood. A lot of yeshivot, a lot of theological institutions were founded. They used to learn their lot. And the woman's crying, and the husband is faith, but still, there's a lot of it. All of this is like this. You see how the Chayal and the soldier and the boy walk together. Very difficult. Wow, an hour and a half drive by car.
Okay.
And they linked arms the whole way from Gush Katif, from the Neve de Kalim to the Kotel. Wow. Now, what's the Kotel for us? You put a note in the wall. I want to meet somebody nice to marry, for example, okay? So what note did they put in the wall? It was the Saba, the grandfather of in Neve de Kalim. His granddaughter and daughter were at the court. They took a note, they put it in the wall, and I'm sure the note said, we don't want to leave Gush Katif, but God has other plans for us. And we know that. We know that whatever you go through, you don't understand what He wants to do, but He does. And that's part of belief.
Yeah.
And our belief is that this is Gush Katif, is where we're meant to be.
Now, 2 decades later, Israelis are asking the hard questions. Instead of peace, Hamas rose in power. Israeli communities have endured years of rocket fire, and the horrors of October 7th shattered the illusion of coexistence. It is a deeply painful realization that the peace so longed for has not yet been achieved. So what's your hope for the future? The hope for the future of relations with Gaza, the memory of Gush Katif as you are giving your life, part of your life, to help keep it in the forefront of our minds. What's your hope for the future?
My hope is that I believe in God, number one. I've got a lot of belief that this is where we're meant to be. This is our place. And my hope is that we'll carry on living here. And my hope is that I'd like to go back to Gush Katif.
As we mark 20 years since the disengagement, the Gush Katif Museum stands as a living testimony, reminding us of the cost of decisions, the resilience of Israel's people, and the importance of remembering history as we continue to pray for a future of true peace. Subscribe to our channel and visit allisraelnews.com for trustworthy coverage from on the ground here in Israel. Shalom from Jerusalem.